alles klappt.
Danke.
Okay, vielen Dank, Dankeschön. Und Stella Watoka, wie geht's dir?
Mir geht es gut. Und Ihnen?
Okay. Ja, mir geht es gut auch. Alles läuft. Okay, danke. Willy Munene, wie geht's dir?
Mir geht es gut.
Mhm.
Und ja.
Ja, und Ihnen?
Und Ihnen.
Normalerweise, ja, und entweder Ihnen oder dir. Okay.
Ja.
Alles läuft bei mir. Ich bin froh, dass es Freitag ist. Ja. Okay. Und dann die nächste, Caroline Jerry. Caroline, wie geht's dir heute? Caroline Jerry, bist du noch da? Okay, na, wenn Caroline Jerry ist mit uns, dann wir können weitermachen. Also, heute fangen wir mit Directions auf Englisch. Und dann machen wir weiter mit mein Tag und dann Possessive Pronouns und dann Time. Okay. Und wenn du Frage hast, dann bitte bitte stell die Frage an mich. Okay. Just want to share with us a short video, and then that's about directions. Okay. I think you can only hear the sound, yeah, but let's see.
Entschuldigen Sie, wissen Sie, ob es in der Nähe eine Bushaltestelle gibt?
Ja, gehen Sie zuerst geradeaus und biegen Sie an der zweiten Ampel rechts ab. Biegen Sie danach an der Ecke des Buchladens links ab und Sie sehen eine Bank. Die Bushaltestelle ist vor der Bank.
Verstanden. Vielen Dank. Eine Bushaltestelle?
Ja, gehen Sie zuerst geradeaus und biegen Sie an der zweiten Ampel. Biegen Sie danach an der Ecke des Buchladens links ab und Sie sehen eine Bank. Die Bushaltestelle ist vor der Bank.
Okay.
Verstanden. Vielen Dank.
So, that's basically how you give directions in German. Quite fast and quite short. What we realized is that the Germans speak so fast. That if you don't listen carefully, then you totally miss out and you only hear the first word and the last word. So very when the or you can take it from there. So who understood? What did we understand from the video? Anyone that you can remember?
Geradeaus.
Hello. It was not audible from my side.
Geradeaus. Mhm.
And excuse me, teacher. Mr. Cyrus.
Yeah.
Hello.
We have the word geradeaus.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, Dennis.
Can you please raise your voice? Unaongea chini sana. You're low. Simsikii poa sana.
Okay. Does everyone else have the same problem?
Yes,
Okay. How is it now?
me too. It's breaking, and at times you're not audible at all.
Okay. And how is it now?
A bit better.
A bit better. Okay. I
That's
think this.
better. That's better.
Okay. So, sorry about that. I think it's my volume for the for the microphone, which was low. Yeah. Okay. Now it's better.
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Sasa. Okay. So what I was asking is from the video, which words did we hear?
Since we couldn't listen to the video, clearly, would you please repeat the video once again because we could not catch anything because maybe the voice was down and the volume was down, so I could not hear on my side. Okay.
Okay. So I repeat the video.
Yes.
Okay. Let me yeah. Okay. Let me repeat the video. Okay. Okay, sorry about okay. Then
Stelle gibt?
Ja, gehen Sie. Wir haben einige neue Designs für die Firmenvisitenkarte. Welche denkst du ist die beste?
Ich mag diese.
Verstanden. Wissen Sie, ob es in der Nähe
Text ein bisschen zu klein.
Ja, der Text mit diesem Bild könnte etwas schwierig zum Lesen werden.
Okay, dann lass uns das andere nehmen.
Entschuldigen Sie, wissen Sie, ob es in der Nähe eine Bushaltestelle gibt?
Ja, gehen Sie zuerst geradeaus und biegen Sie an der zweiten Ampel rechts ab. Biegen Sie danach an der Ecke des Buch.
okay. So without any text, which words did you hear or which words did you recognize? Felix Bongo.
Yes. Well, I heard of Greta House. I also heard about the link. That's it, and also the mayor.
Which words?
The one I heard was Greta House, link, and mayor. I don't know to
Okay.
pronounce that.
Grace.
Yes.
Which words did you hear?
I think I had the word bank, but the first time. Bank.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about all this technical stuff happening. Yeah. Grace, which words did you hear?
I said I had the word bank, but the first time, not the second.
Okay. Yeah. The first or the second time?
The first time. The second
Okay.
time.
The
I did.
first time. Okay. Then Dennis Lowe, which one did you hear?
I had Nemen. Nemen.
Google Digital Skills for Africa offers 40 free.
Okay, and then Lucy. Okay, okay, Lucy Owera saying gehen Sie gerade aus. Okay, vielen Dank. Willy Munene.
Rex
Okay, rest.
on the right.
Okay, yeah, that's on the right. Stella Watoka.
I didn't hear anything. It was not clear.
Okay, okay, it wasn't clear. Okay, is it that it wasn't clear because it was too fast, or? Okay, Caroline Jerry. Okay, James Mwangi. Yes, James Mwangi, what did you hear?
Sorry, I'm saying I didn't get the whole conversation.
Oh, you didn't get the whole conversation. Was it because it was too fast or just? Okay. Okay. Karen, did you hear anything?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I was
no, you did not.
requesting if you could replay it.
Okay. So I'll replay it, and then let's try and listen carefully, or let me see if I can be able to make it slower. Okay, just give me a minute, and then I can be able to do that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then here we go.
Entschuldigen Sie, wissen Sie, ob es in der Nähe eine Bushaltestelle gibt?
Okay, that's quite fast. Let me.
Ja, gehen Sie zuerst.
Okay, that's pretty much.
Wissen Sie, ob es in der Nähe eine Bushaltestelle gibt?
Ja, gehen Sie zuerst geradeaus und biegen Sie an der zweiten Ampel rechts ab. Biegen Sie danach an der Ecke des Buchladens links ab und Sie sehen eine Bank. Die Bushaltestelle ist vor der Bank.
Verstanden. Vielen, vielen Dank.
Okay, I know normally we don't speak like that, but for the sake of listening and hearing what the conversation is all about, I had to take it that slow. So now, for James Mwangi, Dennis, Lucy, and the others who did not hear, and Grace, the others who did not hear. I think now we got something. We had something. So James Mwangi, what did you hear?
Entschuldigung or something like that.
Okay.
And Gerada House.
Okay. Dennis Low.
I had a grade house. I had again etwas. Entschuldigung. Yeah. Those.
Okay. Then okay. Felix Katabazi. Thank you for joining us. What did you hear? Okay, wenn Felix Katabazi ist nicht da, dann Maurice Tuka. I think today is the first time we are meeting. Maurice Tuka.
Yeah, today is the first day. Today is my first day.
Okay. Okay, so we have someone new joining us. This is the first day. Okay, so usually when giving directions, okay, normally the words that you use are geradeaus. Geradeaus means straight ahead. Okay, yeah, geradeaus just means go straight ahead. So if I can say, for example, geradeaus, that would mean from where you are standing, just go straight ahead. Okay, and then you also need to know the word links. What does links mean versus links of Deutsch, of English?
Left.
Left. And what is the opposite of left?
Rechts.
Okay, rechts. Okay, rechts. Yeah, you can either say rechts or rechts. And then which other words do we normally use when giving directions? So you must know the word geradeaus, you must know the word links, you must know the word rechts. So which other word? Think about when you're giving someone directions in English, which word would you normally use?
Next to.
Okay.
Next to.
Okay, next to. Which other words? Stella? Okay, Dennis?
We have in German.
Yeah. Okay, in German or in English?
We have unter. We have neben. And we have inter and inter. Yeah.
Okay. Inter. Okay. Hinter or inter?
Inter.
Okay, starting with H.
Yeah, starting with H.
Okay, vielen Dank. And then Dennis, okay, Willy Munene, sorry.
Four.
Okay, 4.
Yeah, 4. Yeah.
Okay. And then any other words that we need to know when giving directions? Yeah, Lucy Wawera.
You talk about the roundabout. You go around the roundabout. Use which is and again you talk about the whatever, if there are traffic lights, you give directions in the traffic lights. If, and then you tell someone if it is in the nahe, nearby.
Okay. So nearby. Okay. Felix. Yes, Felix Rabongo, we're waiting for you.
You can tell the person maybe something is opposite something like Libin Huba.
Okay, Keniba.
And yeah.
And
that something is close to something.
Okay. Okay, something close to something. Okay. Okay, then and then how do you say okay, I've used the word corner. Okay, what is corner of Deutsch? Yeah. I will help you there. Okay, yeah, Felix Rabongo, you still have your hands up.
I said age. I don't know if to pronounce it, but age or not age for the for the miaka. But here
Yeah, Lucy Wawera has the answer in the chat. That is Eke. So Eke, is it D there or the das? Der, D oder das?
Ecke.
Okay, vielen Dank. It's the Ecke. Yeah, so that is yeah, the Ecke. So corner we say that's the Ecke. And what do you do when you reach a corner? For example, you have left and you have right.
Knock.
Knock.
And knock the Ecke.
And knock the Ecke. So okay, this and what is this word in German? Turn, like turn to the left or turn to the right.
Can I try?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like maybe tell someone to turn to the left. You can use the word maybe abbiegen.
Okay. Abbiegen. Okay, so if you want to tell, if you're giving directions like from here, turn left, and then turn, yeah. So from here, go straight ahead, then turn left.
Can try.
Yeah, Dennis.
Geradeaus. Naka links. Dan naka rechts.
Okay. Okay. So let me just write the instructions and then share that with you. Okay, let me just share the screen and so that at least we are all together. Okay. So the directions that you need to give is go straight ahead, or from here, go straight ahead until the street lights, then turn right. So that's the first direction that you need to give. So who wants to go first? Beatrice or Pina? Ja, willkommen bei uns.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so those are the instructions that to give when using directions. So from here, go straight ahead until the street lights, then turn right.
I should say it in German.
Yeah, auf Deutsch, bitte.
Let somebody else do it.
Okay, Karen, but we'll come back to you. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Karen.
Yes. Yeah, could you be kind enough to repeat the question?
Okay, the directions that you're supposed to give. Okay, I've asked you for directions, and then you're giving the directions like from here, go straight ahead until the street lights, then turn right.
Okay, in German.
Yeah, so for everyone, it's in German. So for the ones that we've not reached, please make sure that you write this sentence in German.
Okay, I'm kindly requesting for time to construct the sentence because I'm sure I don't think I'll come up with something that makes sense.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
Thank you.
Okay, okay. Caroline, Jerry, please type please type that on the chat. Dennis, Low.
I can try.
Yep, go ahead.
Von here, gehen geradeaus. How do you say until in German? Only that word.
just say it without my help.
Okay. Von here, gehen geradeaus. Until you say as in I'm sorry, can you help me with that one, please?
It's okay, whichever else you can say. Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay. Von here, geradeaus. Noch bis die Stau. Dann nach rechts. Dann nach
rechts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the correct pronunciation is rest. Rest.
Oh, rest.
Yeah, rest. Yeah,
okay.
Rest oder rests. Okay. Okay, vielen Dank. So Felix Katabazi. Okay, Felix Katabazi ist nicht mit uns, leider nicht. So we'll just wait for you for some few seconds. If you don't unmute yourself, then we move on to the next. So between 5 and 10 seconds. Okay, Felix Rabongo.
Okay. From here, go straight ahead until the street light then turn right. In German, von hier gehen Sie geradeaus. Die Straßenlicht. Dann biegen Sie rechts ab.
Okay. Yep. Then Grace.
Okay. Gehe geradeaus. Bis die Streetlight. Dann nach rechts.
Okay, vielen Dank. Monkey.
Von hier aus fahren Sie geradeaus, bis die Ampel dann rechts abbiegt.
Okay. Dann Lucy Waweru. Okay, Lucy Waweru, we didn't hear anything. Yes. You still can't hear anything, Lucy Wawera? So
in der Entrachstraße gehen sie Gelandias in der Straße Lampe Vinda Street Lampe Vinda Lex Vinda Links.
Okay. Maurice Tuka. Ist Maurice Tuka noch bei uns? Okay, leider nicht. Stella Watoka, du bist dran.
Von hier.
Mhm.
Fahren Sie geradeaus. Bis die Straße. Lights, no idea. Dann keine Idee. Then rechts.
Okay, vielen Dank. Willy Munene.
Von hier gehen Sie geradeaus bis zur Straßenlatte und dann nach rechts.
Okay, ja, vielen Dank. Karen, yeah, you're next.
Yes. Von hier gehe geradeaus bis der Straßen Lampe, dann rechts ab.
Okay, Beatrice opinion.
Okay. Von hier gehen die Streelabe. I don't know how to say it, turn left, right.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say is please don't translate what. Okay, translate what. Yeah. So the
Von hier gehen Sie gerade so Streelabe.
Okay, so can everyone hear me now? If you can hear me, just raise your hand. Okay. Can the others hear me? Okay, so this is how you'd say this sentence. Yeah, in a simple way without complicating it much. So here geradeaus, big sich, rechts and die Lampe.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the meaning of big fish? Big fish.
Big sich. Okay. So big sich, the word is, okay, you said it's ab, bigen, which is to turn. Ab bigen is to turn, but normally in German we have what you call reflexive verbs. Okay, reflexive verbs. One of them is waschen. Like for example, if you want to take audition is to take a shower, but you normally say this. This is you're showering yourself. Okay. So here in English, it's not quite clear. The action is you're the one who's doing that to yourself. So like here, to turn, you are the one who is doing that action to yourself. So I'm the one who is making the turn. So if I tell you turn left, that action is it's reflecting back to you. You are the subject. The subject is the one who is doing that action. So for example, taking a bath, taking a shower, you are the one who is doing that action to yourself. You are the one who's washing yourself. So these are what you call reflexive verbs. So reflexive verbs are basically the verbs. There are quite many. And they're just verbs where the action, the subject is the one who is doing that action. So, is that clear to everyone? Is that clear? So all reflexive verbs will always start with sich. Okay, sich. So for example, sich waschen, that's one of the common verbs. So usually the abbiegen is a reflexive verb, and it is with sich. So sich abbiegen. And since abbiegen is a trennbare verb, okay, so we have to separate it. Biegen, sie, sich, rechts, an. So biegen und dann an. So hier geradeaus, dann biegen sie sich rechts an die Lampe. So like
ich habe eine Frage.
Ja, bitte.
For example, in the sentence that you given us there, what about if people be using the do form of it, like the do form?
Yeah, or the do form.
Yes. Are we
Okay,
going to
so
choose
here
this or this?
no, it's going to be sich. But so let me write the do form. Okay. So okay, so the upper one is for the Z form, Sie höflich. The second one is for the do form. So hier geradeaus, dann biegt sie sich rechts an die Lampe.
Wouldn't it be big?
Yeah. Okay, you not use dish because when you use dish, dish is an accusative word. Okay, but sich for reflexive verbs, yeah, sich is never conjugated. It remains the same. Yeah,
Okay, so
it's just there to show that the verb that yeah. So the Z should still remain the same whether you're using the Z or the do.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't conjugate the Z. For reflexive verbs, you only conjugate the verb. Okay. So like for me to conjugate abbiegen, I would say ich. Okay. Ich biege mich ab. Du biegst sich ab. So the sich. So if I'm the one who is giving myself that action, then I'll say mich. Okay, because I cannot say sich because this is to a second person.
Okay,
so
but
for
here you wrote big, but then here you change right to big, big, but then in the second part you write than big, which that wouldn't it be like than big, which right?
Yeah, biegst recht. Okay, so also that normally when giving directions, it's more or less like do this, do this, do this. So you're using the command form.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why it's big. And of course, usually when you're using the polite form, yeah, the verb stays the same, so nothing changes. Yeah, but usually when using the second form, the command form, it's just the stem of the verb that you use.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it's these are just some of the things that you need to remember. So you now know where your grammar is coming from and where it's being put. Okay. Yeah. So Lucy Wawera has also given us another word for reflexive verb. Okay. So sich interessieren. Okay. Sich interessieren. To interest yourself in something. Okay, it's self-interest. I'm interested in something. So it's coming internally. I'm the one who is interested. The action is to myself. Okay, vielen Dank, Lucy.
Teacher,
I
have a question.
Yeah, Peter.
So in any way that we try to use reflective verbs, we use sich. We use that one only, not mich, not dish.
Yeah. If I'm going to say ich interessiere mich. Okay, ich interessiere mich. So I am interested in something. So now the reflexive verb here is coming to me. It's usually a bit confusing when you use the reflexive verb and the accusative because usually they're similar. But now what happens is you have to know that this is a reflexive verb. So this is why I'm using this sich, and not because it's an accusative. It's an accusative verb, but I'm using it in the accusative case. I can share with you a complete. Let me say on Monday. Okay. Yeah. On Monday you have a whole complete. I wouldn't say presentation, but just like something that highlights how to use the reflexive verbs. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, because it's something which was not in our plan. So I'll just share with you a document which tells you which are the most common reflexive verbs and how to use them. so that we are also familiar with them. Okay. Any other question? So do we want to try another direction?
That would be better because we want to understand more about it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, usually giving directions is one of those, I wouldn't say, I don't use the word difficult, but it's one of those things which, you don't do this every day. So unless you are lost or stuck somewhere, that's when you ask for directions. And each and every person has their own way of giving directions. So even though they'll use the same words, you hear geradeaus, you'll hear the one rechts, you'll hear Andy Lampe, you'll hear the word links, you'll hear the word hinter, you'll hear the word neben, you'll hear the word for. Yeah, but how they're used in a sentence would be normally quite different. So the most important thing to know is just to identify these words. So if somebody tells you geradeaus, then you know that go straight. And then hear the next word, hear the next phrase, hear the next phrase. Yeah, or sometimes, because for directions, you have to follow the directions, like it's step by step. So if you miss step 1, so even if you have step 2, 3, and 4, you're going to go nowhere because you cannot start from step 1. Because step 1 could be geradeaus, here geradeaus, or they tell you here links, or that here rechts. So if you don't get the first step, then you can't move, you're stuck where you are. So for directions, what makes it a little bit more harder to understand or to get is because it's a step by step, and you have to listen carefully and understand the next step. So step 1, then step 2, step 3, then step 4, and you have to understand each and every step of the way. Yeah, so this is we can go back to the video just for it's a short clip. You can watch it under the normal speaking rates, and then we move on to something else. What is roundabout? Who can tell us what roundabout is? Okay, here it is Kreisverkehr. So was ist Kreisverkehr? So sieht der, die, das. Okay, Karin Tuma has also mentioned the word herum. Yeah, that can also be used with the directions. Okay. What is it der, die, oder das for Kreisverkehr? Der, okay. Yeah. So this is that is basically the whole word, but sometimes you hear some people only saying Verkehr. Yeah. So yeah, some Germans only use Verkehr. Some of them use, but if you use Kreisverkehr, then also that's understandable. Okay, they'll understand what you mean. Okay, okay, traffic lights. Okay, yeah, traffic lights or street lights. That's
Die Lampe.
yeah, die Lampe. Vielen Dank. Yeah, so it's street lights or traffic lights. That's die Lampe. Okay, so how do you say something is close to something? yeah, you still use neben. Okay, neben, which is next to, or in der Nähe von. Okay. And then and initially for directions, this is where you normally use the Wechsel prepositionen. So these prepositions are either use accusative or use dative. So that's why they're saying for their bank, for their bank. It's in front of the bank. It's standing there, it's stationary, it's not moving. Remember what you said we mentioned yesterday? Dative is you're in position B and you're not moving. Okay, there's no movement involved. So whatever you're looking for is stationed in position B and it's in front of the bank. So that's why you use for their bank. And versus bus station.
Bushaltestelle.
Okay, Bus.
Haltestelle.
It's Bus. Yeah, Bus like bus, Bus, and Bus. Halte. What is Halte comes from which word?
Stop.
Halten, it comes from halten, which means to stop. I remember the word halt, like if the cops stop you, yeah, that is stop. A stop sign, which just means halt. Okay, so halt, which is to stop, or a halten, to stop. Then Stelle is a place or a station. So it's just basically 3 words. So Bus, Halte, Stelle. Bus, Halte, Stelle. So to help you also get to pronounce the word fast enough, then just divide it into 3. And then just know that this is 3 words combined into 1. It's a compound noun, which means a bus station. So Bushaltestelle. Okay, Bushaltestelle. And what is a train station?
Bahnhof.
Article.
Is it eine or ein?
Okay, if you say eine, that means it's feminine. If you say ein, that could either be das or that der. Okay, it's der. Der Bahnhof. Der Bahnhof. An airport.
Flughafen.
Okay, Flughafen. Okay, Flughafen. Article. Der, die oder das.
Das Flughafen.
Yeah.
Karibu. There.
There. Okay. Who else? Who has any other thought? Okay, no one is there. Okay, so der Flughafen. So always remember to, whenever you're learning, the easiest way to remember the articles is learn the noun together with the article. Okay, learn the noun together with the article. In German, this is one word. They're not separate. Okay, they're not separate. This is one word. Unlike English, where we only have two articles, which the definite article, which is there, and the indefinite article, which is are, and don't change. So it's not really a must for you to remember them. In German, these are you have to learn the noun together with the article. Okay. The reason is, when German kids are learning German, when they're learning how to speak, and of course the mother tongue, the language that they're learning to speak is German, or the words they're hearing are German words. They don't learn Bahnhof. Okay, they don't learn the word Bahnhof. They learn the word der Bahnhof. That's basically what they hear, der Bahnhof. So they all learn it. They all learn the two words together. And so for us who are learning German as a second language, or a third language, or a fourth language, it's not our mother tongue. We need to learn the two words together. So rather than just learning Bahnhof, Flughafen, Kreisverkehr, and then later when you come to making a sentence in accusative, which needs you to know the article of the noun that you're using, then now we have to restart all over again, and then go back. Okay, what is Bahnhof? Which is the article for Bahnhof? Oh, it's there. So that's like a whole repetition again. Because in accusative, it's there that changes. Okay, it affects the masculine. And then when we come to dative, where everything else changes, then you're also totally confused. So okay, what's the article of this noun? I can't figure out this article, and they start memory gap, where you are thinking of the article. So the only way is the simplest way is when you are learning a new word, when you're learning a new noun, learn it together with the article. This is one word. Is that okay? Yeah. Then we go to time. So anyone has any questions on the directions? Any question on the directions? On how to give directions? Okay, so a question from me. Okay, we've learned how to give directions, but then how do you ask? How do you say, how do I get to so how do you ask, how do I get to Serena Hotel? Yeah, if you're not in a position to talk, you can just type that on the chat. So okay, Willy Munene.
Maybe Vicome. Vicome ish zum Serena Hotel.
Okay, wie komme ich zum Serena Hotel? Vielen Dank. Lucy Waweru.
V is the Serena Hotel.
Okay, V is the Serena Hotel. Okay, okay, danke. Okay, ja. Maurice Tucker, wie komme ich nach Serena Hotel? Beatrice Opinia, wie ich komme zum Serena Hotel. James Wangi. Okay, James. Then Felix Rabongo.
Wie komme ich zum Serena Hotel?
Okay, wie komme ich zum Serena Hotel? Okay, vielen Dank. Caroline Jerry. Okay, Karen Tumwa.
Komme ich zum Hotel Serena?
Okay. Dann Stella.
V is the Serena Hotel.
B is the Serena Hotel. Okay. Okay. So if you said wie komme ich zum Serena Hotel, then you are correct. Wie komme ich zum Serena Hotel? So here, Serena Hotel is das, so that's why you use zum. Okay. If it was die, then it would be zur. Okay, zur. Yeah, so if it's das or der, then you'd use zum. If it's die, you'd say zur. Okay, I think it's Felix Rabongo who had asked the question yesterday how to use zum oder zur. Yeah, so if it's der oder das, then you say zum. If it's die, you'd use zur. Which one does die? Okay, so for example, if you're using the word bank, you'd say, wie komme ich zur Bank? Oder wie komme ich zur Herzelasse Straße or Herzelasse Street? Yeah, so normally for names of streets, you don't say Herzelasse. Net Avenue, you just that would be wie komme ich Street. Okay. Wie komme ich zum Bahnhof oder wie komme ich zum Hauptbahnhof? Okay, then we go to the any other question on the possessive pronouns? Any question on the possessive pronouns? Sorry, on the directions. Anyone, any question? If not, then move on to the next. Okay, then we can move on to the next then, the next slide, which is the possessive pronouns. Okay, so for the possessive pronouns, it depends on whether it's nominative, okay, whether you're talking about the nominative case, or you're talking about the accusative case, or you're talking about the dative. Okay, so here for the nominative, each is mine, du is dein, er is sein, sie is ihr with a small, sie for she is ihr with a small letter. And then es is sein, wir is unser, ihr ist euer, dann sie hoffentlich und sie, das ist ihr. Okay. And then one other thing is that it also depends, so not just on the case, whether it's nominative or dative or accusative. Something else that happens is that it takes on what it takes on what the article. It depends on what you're talking about. Okay, so it also depends on what you're talking about. So if you say, how do you say my book? Anyone? My book.
My book.
Yeah, mein Buch. Vielen Dank. And how would you say her book?
The book.
The book. Okay. How do you say her husband? Or let me put another way. How do you say his husband? His wife, sorry.
Frau.
Frau. Okay, anyone else?
Seine Frau.
Okay, seine Frau. Okay. Anyone else with a different answer? Okay, the correct answer is seine Frau. Okay, seine Frau. And you'd say ihr Buch. Okay, ihr Buch. The reason is the same way it's saying mein Bruder. Okay, mein Bruder. Because Bruder is there, so you don't need to add any ending on the possessive pronoun. Okay, so whenever you're using possessive pronoun, it is mine, my in English. So like that is mine. So mine, because you are possessing it. It's yours. You own it. But you say mein Bruder, aber meine Schwester. Meine Schwester. Mein Vater, aber meine Mutter. Okay, meine Mutter. And then, so these are all in the nominative case. And then you'd say, yeah, dein Bruder oder dein Auto, dein Auto. And then you'd say, deine Tür, okay, deine Tür oder deine Kleidung, okay, deine Kleidung. And sein Hund, okay, sein Hund, unser Haus, okay, unser Haus, because house is das, okay, unser Haus. So usually unless we're using the possessive pronoun as an adjective, okay, unless you're using the possessive pronoun as an adjective, then it will just take them mine or meine, dein or deine. And when it comes to the everyday spoken language, yeah, then things do change a bit, because yeah, the Germans use das ist meins, okay, das ist meins for anything, whether it's masculine, feminine, or neutral. Das ist meins. That's what in German is called Umgangssprache. Okay, Umgangssprache. So Umgangssprache ist nicht Standarddeutsch. Okay, aber was man sagt im Alltagleben. Ja, wie man spricht im Alltagleben. So das ist meins. Yeah, so we are going to avoid the Umgangssprache, but we'll just get to learn a bit of it here and there as we go along.
Teacher.
So yeah.
I have a question. So these they call the position. Forget the name.
Possessive pronoun. Yeah, possessive pronoun.
Yeah. So use them because of dative, accusative, the same way.
Yes. So
okay.
So for when you come to the nominative, the accusative, and the dative, of course that will change depending on your sentence. So is your sentence in the accusative case? Is it a sentence in the using the dative case? So if you're using the dative case, then your possessive pronoun will also be in the dative case. If you are using a possessive pronoun in your sentence, it's in the accusative case, then it will take the accusative case. Yeah. Any other question? I'll share how can I call it? Like a table, okay, like a table of the possessive pronouns in the nominative case, in the accusative case, and in the dative case. And then also just give some examples on how to use them in this of how to use them. But in the nominative case, the thing to remember, the Hauptsache here is it depends on the gender on the article of the noun. So it depends on the article of the noun you're talking about. Yeah, it depends on the article of the noun you're talking about. You say, dein Hund ist groß. Okay, dein Hund ist groß. mein Kind ist hungrig oder mein Kind hat Hunger. Mein Kind hat Hunger. Mein Zimmer ist schmutzig. Mein Zimmer ist schmutzig. Aber ja, meine Tasche ist rot oder meine Tasche ist neu. Ja, meine Tasche ist neu. So hier Tasche ist die Tasche. So meine Tasche ist neu oder meine Handtasche ist neu. Aber mein Zimmer ist groß oder schmutzig. Ja. My room is untidy. Zimmer ist das. Dann, ja, mein Kind hat Hunger. My child is hungry. Kind ist das. Ja, mein Auto ist sauber. Ja, mein Auto ist ganz sauber
Ist
oder mein
kaputt.
Auto ist kaputt. Ja, das kann man auch sagen. Ja, mein Auto ist kaputt. Yeah. So that's how you use them in the nominative case. So in the nominative case, it just depends on majorly the article of the noun. So the one that changes is the D. So you add D. You add A am Ende. So meine, deine, seine, ihre, seine, unsere, eure, ihre. Yeah. The most important thing for this is just to get to practice this in different situations. Just mein Bett ist kaputt. Mein Arm tut mir weh. Mein Kopf tut mir weh. So all these, just the there, the does don't change, but the D, whenever you talk about D, then you have to add an E at the end of the possessive pronoun. Yeah. And yeah, and also mentioned just a few minutes ago, the Umgangssprache, which is not the official standard German, but this is what is in the spoken everyday language. Meins, das ist meins. You use that for all the articles. So someone can ask you, I can ask you, is das deins? Yeah, or I just maybe take a phone and ask a question, deins? Yeah. So you can say, yeah, das ist meins. Yeah. Yeah, but that is not in the written language. Okay, you don't write in the standard. You don't do that in the written grammatic, in the written standard Deutsch. The spoken Umgangssprache, you can do that, but not when you're speaking the standard German. Okay, so that's what I was saying yesterday. There are different types of language. They're used in different areas and they're classified differently. So there's a standard language. Same with Kiswahili, there's a standard Kiswahili, which we all learn in school. But then after you come from class, you speak the everyday Kiswahili. Yeah. Umgangssprache is what you can call like the street language, the slang. Okay. So it's not officially so the standard, but it's spoken. You can understand what the other person is saying, and that's basically what is common. But also when you are writing Kiswahili, you are not going to write the so-called slang or sheng in a standard written Kiswahili for an exam. It's not, it doesn't have any rules, doesn't have any grammar, any grammar rules, any strict grammar rules. Yeah, it actually disobeys all the grammar rules. Yeah, so you cannot use that in the written standard language. Or when you're at work, you cannot use the Umgangssprache with someone you don't know, or you cannot use the Umgangssprache with a Z. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the major difference. Yeah, so in a formal setup, Umgangssprache is a no-no. It's fine, but in an informal or in an informal setup, you can use the Umgangssprache with your friends, with your family. So whenever you can use du, you can use the Umgangssprache. But whenever you're using the Z format, Z formal, yeah, it's not so easy to use it. Yeah, and it's recommended. Yeah. So, okay. I'll share with you the whole possessive pronomen table, both nominative, accusative, and the dative case, and some examples for each case. Okay, so I'll share that with you together with the reflexive verbs. Okay. Okay, now then so who can give us a sentence with any of the possessive pronouns in the nominative case? Grace, you want to try?
Okay, let me try. I'm not sure, but entish is gross.
Okay, my teach is gross. Okay, vielen Dank.
Sorry?
Lucy Wawera.
Beatish.
Lucy Wawera, can you give us yeah, your sentence is correct, Grace. Okay, vielen Dank. Yeah, Lucy Wawera. Okay, Karen Tuma.
Entschuldigung, Cyrus, could you kindly repeat the question?
Yeah. Please give us a sentence using a possessive pronoun, any.
Okay. Das ist meine Wohnung.
Okay, thank you. Stella Watoka, so if you're not able to, if you're not in a position to speak, just you can just write that on the chat. Stella?
Mein Bruder ist krank.
Do you say mine or mine?
Mein Bruder ist krank.
Okay, mine, okay. Okay, mein Bruder, okay, vielen Dank. Boris Duka. Okay, ja, mein Bruder ist groß, vielen Dank. Boris Duka.
Mein Bruder is night.
Okay, mein Bruder ist nett. Okay, vielen Dank. Beatrice.
Meine Mutter ist nett.
Okay, meine Mutter ist nett. Okay, vielen Dank. Beatrice, Caroline, Jerry. Okay, Lucy, how are you? Okay, James Mwangi, you can type Felix Tabung.
Meine Nachbarn sind nett.
William Munene.
Mein Bett ist bequem.
Okay, mein Bett ist bequem. Okay, so you say it as bequem, bequem. Okay. Yeah, Q whenever it's followed by a U, which is 100% of the time, is usually pronounced as like a KV, bequem. So you say bequem.
Hello, please repeat that again. Hello.
Usually, hello. For Q, the Q in German, it's normally pronounced. Okay, usually when a Q is followed by a U, okay, which in German is nearly 100% of the cases, then you pronounce that as a K, then V, V. So it's bequem. Bequem. The reason why you say vat. So we start with the sound K. Vat. Vat. Bequem. Bequem. Okay. So of course when you're saying it fast, then you may not even hear the sound at the beginning, but it's there. So what? Yeah, that's what. Bequem. Okay. Can everyone hear me clearly now?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Anyone else was problems hearing me? Okay, then what I can do is I can.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Just a minute, please. Dear
Yeah.
students, I think whenever the teacher is asking, especially matters to do with sound, I think we need to respond so that he can know whether it's clear or maybe, you might be teaching and we are not getting. Now, when he's asking about the sound, we don't want to respond. You see, now we are not doing us justice to ourselves. So maybe at least when he's asking about clarity, I think we should point out so that he knows how best to help us. If we don't inform him, he can just teach for 30 minutes and we are not getting and we're not saying, see, we'll be wasting time. So like today from my side, I felt like his net was not good. So I asked him to ask you if that is the case. Now, only two have responded. You see, now he cannot fix it. So I think as much as we might want to be silent throughout, I think we need to come out when we're asking about matters to do with the clarity of the class. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. As you know, I mentioned something yesterday that our classes will be quite interactive. So whenever I ask something or you don't understand anything, just stop me and ask. If I ask you a question, because from my end I can hear you quite clearly, but you are not able to hear me, so there's no need to just stick with the bad sound or the bad internet, with the bad basically bad sound, without letting me know. Yeah, so please just yeah, just let me know anytime. If you can't hear me, if you can't hear me clearly, just let me know, because then I will ask. Maybe it's just one person who has told me that, and for me it could be that, yeah, maybe it's just this one person who can't hear me quite well, because I understand the issues of internet network. Yeah, so that's the reason why I would ask, if you can hear me, please raise your hand. Yeah, so if you can hear me, just raise your hand. If you can't hear me, so if you don't raise your hand, then I have no idea what whether you can hear me or you can't, or if you don't respond, or if you don't talk, then I don't know who can hear me, who can't hear me. If I don't get any response on the chat, I don't know who can hear me and who can't hear me. Yeah, so the thing is, just respond in whichever way. Either raise your hand if I say, or just type that on the chat, but you're breaking, I can't hear you, or your volume is low, or yeah. So that is something that we have to improve on. That is something that we just have to improve on. So please let me know. Yeah, so Maurice.
Yeah.
Can you hear me well now?
Yeah, I'm getting it clear now.
Okay, thank you. Stella Watoka, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's clear.
Okay, thank you, Stella. Willy Munene, can you hear me now?
Yeah, klar.
Okay, vielen Dank. Dennis Low, kannst du mich hören jetzt?
Yeah, now it's clear.
Okay, vielen Dank für deine Antwort. Caroline Jerry. Karin Tumor.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, vielen Dank. Und du, Grace?
Clear.
Okay, vielen Dank. Yeah, James Mwangi. Okay, vielen Dank. Beatrice.
Clear?
Okay, vielen Dank. Okay, dann können wir weitermachen. Yeah, okay. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to talk about how to say the time in German. And so, how do you say was ist time auf Deutsch? Time auf Deutsch?
Wie spät?
Aha. Ja, wie spät? Okay. Danke. Okay. Okay, so I saw someone has written in the chat Uhr. Okay, vielen Dank. Okay, so time, generally time in German is die Zeit. Okay, die Zeit. Okay, vielen Dank, Munene. Ja, it's die Zeit. Karen Tuma Uhr is o'clock. Okay, Uhr is o'clock. And then how do you ask? Oh, just means clock. Okay, it's clock. How do you ask what is the time? Yeah, Karen. Yeah, wie spät, sorry, wie spät ist es? Okay, vielen Dank. And how do you respond to that? Like,
Es
yeah, es ist. Okay. Yeah, es ist. Okay, vielen Dank. Okay, yeah, wie viel Uhr ist es? Yeah, you can also use that. You can also use wie viel Uhr ist es? Yeah, but the common one is wie spät ist es? Okay, the most common one that everyone will understand is wie spät ist es? Yeah, wie viel Uhr ist es? Yeah, das geht auch. And then the response is es ist. And then, so when you have es ist, so we know what is quarter. Quarter, when you're talking about in terms of time, or generally quarter in German.
Viertel.
Okay, Viertel, vielen Dank. Half.
Halb.
Okay, halb, okay, vielen Dank. And so if it's if it's quarter to, like, let me say it's quarter to 8. I would say quarter to 8.
Halb bis. Halb von.
Viertel von Act 1.
Okay, Viertel von Act Uhr, Felix Rabongo. We're coming to you, Beatrice.
Viertel for
And Karen. Huh? Okay, Viertel vor Act Uhr. Karen. Beatrice. 7:45. Or quarter to 8. Okay, so the correct answer is here we have the time that we're trying to talk about is 8. Is quarter to 8 is 7:45. Yeah, so it's a Viertel vor, yeah, Viertel vor 8. Yeah, so wie spät ist das? They say Viertel vor 8. So no need to add the word Uhr. Yeah, Viertel vor 8. And what is 10:15?
Can try. Viertel nach 10.
Okay, Viertel nach 10. Okay, vielen Dank. Okay, Viertel nach 10. Ja, du hast recht. So if it's 2, okay, use 4. Okay, the pronunciation is 4. If it's past, use nach. Okay, nach. If something is past, that is nach. And what about let's say so 12:30.
That's right.
Hab 1.
Okay, halb 1. Okay, danke. Karen.
Halb vor 1.
Okay, halb vor 1. Okay, danke. Dennis Low.
Halb 13.
Okay, halb 13. Okay. Yes. Is Grace still with us? Okay, so usually when it's okay, for the how to say time officially, whenever it's half past, then in German you refer to the next hour. So that would be halb 1 or halb 13. That's how you write 10. 10. Yeah. Entweder 12:30 oder 12:30. Okay, and and how do you say if it's or you can normally just say 12:30. Okay, 12:30. Or and how do you say if it's 11 11:25? How
Can
do you say
try.
11:20? Yeah.
11 Uhr 25. 11 Uhr 25.
Okay, 11:25. Okay, vielen Dank, Dennis. Okay, yeah, so this is 11:25. 11:25. Or you can say 20 Minuten nach 11. So 20 Minuten nach 11. So both of them are correct, whichever is easier. Okay. 11 Uhr. And how do you, which other word do you use with, which preposition do you use with time? I think we talked about this yesterday.
There.
It's okay, so 12 Uhr, 11 Uhr, Viertel nach 10. So for example, you'd say, wir treffen uns morgen oder wir treffen uns am Montag 8 Uhr. So question is, when do you use the word and when don't you use it? Anyone? Okay, Karen, your hand is still raised, so we'll start with you. So when do you use the word and when do you leave it out?
Right. You use the word when you're telling time, but you cannot use the word when you're telling the time of day. Like for example, if it's evening, morning, or midday. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So usually is it's equivalent to the English at. Okay. So that is similar to at in English. So for example, if I ask you what is the time, you cannot say at at 10:07, because I'm asking you what the time now, what the time is at the moment. So you will not use the word at. But if you are, for example, I'm giving a specific time when you're supposed to do something or go somewhere or meet, then I'll need to use the word at, okay, to refer to that specific time, which can either be something which is still going to happen or something that has happened already, but it was at a specific time. So that's when I use the word at. So for example, we met yesterday at 10 p.m. or we meet tomorrow at 8 a.m. So the same way you'd use the word at in English is the same way you'd use the word in German when talking about time. So for example, wir treffen uns am Montag 8 Uhr. Wir haben uns gestern 10 Uhr getroffen. Oder er ist gestern oder er ist letzte Woche am Samstag 10 Uhr gegangen. So whenever you're talking about a specific action that happened or something happened or is going to happen at a specific time, then you use the preposition But if you're just telling me what the time is, then you don't use the word Yeah. So for example, I would say ich stehe jeden Tag stehe ich 7 Uhr auf. So here I need to use the word Okay. But if it's just telling me what the time is at the moment, I've asked you what time it is, what time is it, and then you're responding to me, you're telling me what the time is, then you just tell me, you don't use the word Okay, so you just tell me what the time is. So 10 Minuten nach 10 oder 10 Uhr 10. Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically about time. Yeah, you can any other word that you normally use with time. Any other specific word that you normally use with time?
Bis.
Bis. Okay, we have the word bis. So you can say ab bis. So ab 10 Uhr bis 8 Uhr oder ab 10 Uhr bis 12 Uhr. Okay, so that is so you'd also use the word bis, but when you use the word bis, then that means you're talking about so this word ab bis, and then you'd also use the word dauert. Okay, down. When you conjugate it becomes to dauert because it's in the third person. So for example, unser Unterricht dauert 2 Stunden. 2 Stunden lang. You also have the word lang. So you have the word dauern, which is a duration of time. Stunden is just like could talk about it like a number of hours. Okay, lang is long. All these are used with the dauern, and you also use the word ab bis. So for example, we'd say Montag treffen wir uns. Okay, you can also say phone. Let's have the phrase phone. Bis. Von 8 Uhr bis 10 Uhr. Oder von 8 Uhr bis 10:50 Uhr. But if you're going to use the word down, then you don't use the word von bis or ab bis, because they mean the same thing. So you can also say unsere Stunden ist 2 Stunden lang. Unser Unterricht ist 2 Stunden lang. Unser Unterricht ist 2 Stunden lang. Or you'd say, unser Unterricht dauert 2 Stunden. Unser Unterricht dauert 2 Stunden. Okay, and that's about time and the words that you need to use around when you're talking about time. Anyone has any question?
Sorry, I didn't get how we can use the word. The one.
Okay, dauert comes from the word down. Okay, down is a verb. Dauert is a conjugated verb form of the verb in the third person. So dauert here is equivalent to lasts. So our lesson lasts 2 hours. So unser Unterricht dauert 2 Stunden. We can say unser Unterricht dauert von 8 Uhr bis 10 Uhr. But yeah, you don't normally say that. Yeah. Yeah, you normally just say, you normally use down with Stunden.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so anything left for today? It's around 10:15. Yeah, we still have a question for yesterday, a homework for yesterday, which was the difference between nicht and kein. Let's carry that forward to Monday. It's the first thing I'll ask during the lesson before we start. Okay. Hat jemand Frage? Okay, dann, wenn es keine Frage gibt, dann okay, nein, okay, von James Mwangi. Okay, ja, wenn es keine Frage gibt, dann bringen uns unser Unterricht zum Schluss. Und wir treffen uns am Montag. Ja, hoffentlich, ja, ich hoffe, dass am Montag diese Internetverbindung besser ist. Ja. Ja, so ich wünsche euch ein schönes Wochenende und bis Montag. Okay, tschüss.
Tschüss.
Okay, tschüss, macht's gut.